Hey guys, this is the Dawn926, and welcome to my unboxing and review of the SH Figuarts Yellow Ranger. I know that I didn't review the other Rangers on my YouTube channel, but I figured that I'd start off with my most recent acquisition of the SH Figuarts Power Rangers. Much like the other Power Rangers, she comes in a clear display box with her Ranger name here on the right hand side. The bottom there you have the Bandai Tamashii Nations emblem. There's the Power Rangers logo with the 20th anniversary insignia there. And there she is holding her, I guess they're called daggers, because Billy's was called a lance, even though it's separated into two separate daggers. So it's her Yellow Ranger daggers. I'm going to say this right off the bat, much like other reviewers are doing. I'm only going to be reviewing the female one that came out here in America. I understand the male version did come out in Asia, but that one I'm not going to try and get my hands on, since I only collected the American versions of these figures. So I'm just going to continue with that. Alright, let's get this lovely young lady open. And there she goes. As you can see, she comes with multiple accessories. There is her power, her laser in dagger mode. Her laser with the Star Slinger, or whatever it was, I believe it was called the Star Slinger. And there are her Yellow Ranger daggers. And there she is. That is the Black Ranger's axe, which finally completes the mega weapon that the Power Rangers used on multiple occasions to defeat the enemy, which would lead to the enemy getting bigger, and then essentially them calling in their Megazord. This is officially the last piece. And now, if you have all the figures like I do, you can essentially set up their ultimate weapon, or their ultimate final attack. And she also comes with three pairs of hands, but 6 altogether. Well, I'd say it was 4 if you include the 2 that come already attached to the figure. So let's get her open. I'm going to try and do this without popping anything out, only because I hate having a mess on my desk. Let's get her out. Let's start with her articulation. She has a movable head joint, which is really easy to move. She goes all the way. You turn her head in a full 360 degrees, which is pretty cool. Her arms have the same thing. I love this little joint here by the arm. Well, it's not a joint really, it's more of a cut into the armor, or into the suit. And I love that it makes the arm movable without hindering it any way. Yeah, like that. She does have elbow joint, which is pretty cool. She does have her joint here in her wrist. Yeah, she does have a waist joint. And remember, everybody, this is the female version of the Yellow Ranger, or Trini, if you like to call her that. Much like the other arm, she has a joint there. Over her leg joints right there, and then she, much like the other Rangers, has 2 here at her knee. There's 1 here connected to the actual foot, and then there's 1 up here. It's kind of hard to see it move, but it's there to move. See, that's how you can get the figure to go like all the way like that. See, some great articulation points here in the SH Figuarts figures. Much like any of the arts figure line from Bandai Tamashii. Her boots. The detail is just amazing in every little thing of this figure. Much like all their other figures. Again, I know this is only the second video that I'm posting, and look forward to getting more. But again, the design is amazing. Look at that helmet. You know, when I was a kid, I had those Power Ranger figures that essentially their head would swap for their real face, and then you could push their belt to morph them. I used to love those. And then when they started doing that whole back to action thing in Power Rangers, when they would they would essentially come to the command center with their helmet off, and then when they had a talk with Zordon, and essentially went back into the field, they would hold their belt and go back to action. I used to love those toys. I would put since their hands were always like this, like always ready to grip with that little peg there, I would always make them grab their belt and go back to action while I was playing with them. I'll never forget that as a child. Don't get me wrong, as a child, if I had these, I'd probably end up destroying them. the same time, these are just amazing. And if I knew the things that I knew now as a child about toys, I probably would have taken better care of them. You know, once again, the figure's pretty amazing. You know. One little thing about that everybody seems to get mad at is that, like, it doesn't have the buckles here at the side of their helmets. I don't really mind that. I kind of wish that SH Figuarts, well, Bandai would make sort of like a weapons pack for all their SH Figuarts figures, so that essentially, like, Power Rangers could get alternate heads, or, like, you know, I don't know, something like that. Just like alternate heads for certain figures, alternate weapons, things like that. I know I'm probably never gonna get that, but hey, here's hoping. Like, I remember when Vegeta was first released or being talked about, when you got to see the Scouter, I thought it was just gonna be, essentially I thought it was just gonna be like an accessories pack, but it ended up being Vegeta from season 1 of Dragon Ball Z. You know, when he still has his tail before he went Super Saiyan, which is kind of odd though, because the Super Saiyan Vegeta figure is slightly taller than the season 1 regular Vegeta figure. Alright, I'm just gonna place her at the side so we can take a look at her accessories. Here at the top corner, let me pull those out. I have a little spudger that helps me pull things out. I know it seems weird, but and see, now I know there's a little crevice there. Alright, so that's her one of her daggers, which is great. And I'm not sure if you have the I believe it's the Black Ranger. No. Yes, the Black Ranger. He comes with the Yellow Ranger's daggers with the little peg in it, so that you can essentially attach it to the bow. And before the end of the video, I'll show you what that whole setup looks like together. Here is her laser, still in, well, I guess it would be dagger mode. I don't remember it being called anything else. You know, when they would grab this end here, they would push this, and then it would turn to the laser. They would just shoot stuff. And then here's the laser with, I think this thing's called the sling bow. I don't really remember what it was called. Heck, I don't even remember it being in the series, but it's on the figure, and it's joined to it. You can't take it apart, much like all the other Rangers. But I'm kind of sad that all of them didn't get like a laser, essentially in its laser mode, or like some of them got it and some of them didn't at the same time. I guess it was just that, you know, Bandai saving some money. And then here is the Black Ranger's power axe in gun form. I kind of wish that this piece was movable, like in the TV show, you know, when like they I don't know, I remember it was the bow, and then it was the lance and the daggers, and then he would essentially take the axe, cock it like a shotgun, and throw it up, and then the sword would come out. But if I'm not mistaken, a piece here comes out. Yep, see? That is to, essentially that's for the bow, so it can lock into place. When you attach it again, towards the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys that. And here are all her hands. And she has, the first two, my guess, is for her stance. The next two are for holding weapons, and then the last two still, well, I think the second two are for holding her blaster or her laser and dagger mode, and these two are here are holding her daggers. Put those right there. And last but not least, I'm going to show you guys how to set up the ultimate weapon. So you're just going to follow all the pegs that you see over there, see? So the first one's going to be, I don't remember, yeah, it was the Yellow Rangers first, so this is going to go just like that. Just follow the pegs. Oh my gosh, you know, I'm trying to like get rid of the length of these videos, but at the same time it's not helping. Okay, so I'll just follow the peg, and then that way that's outwards. Okay, what's one? Yeah. Two. Then again, this one's going to be 3. There you go. So there's what it's going to look like from there. And then it's going to go on top of the gun. Look. It's going to choose the, you're going to put it on the middle peg. There you go. Just be careful because these, for some reason, these figures are built really well. Oh, sorry, just realized that's not in focus. These figures are built really well, but the weapons are, they're not flimsy, but at the same time, they like to break for some reason. Like I've broken a few, and I've had to buy a second figure just to replace it. I'll give you, there you go. And that is the Power Rangers Ultimate Weapon. I'll probably upload a still on my page or edit this video so that there's a still of all of them holding this, because it's really light and it does look good all together. I hope you guys enjoyed my unboxing and review of the SH Figuarts female Yellow Ranger, and like and comment if you enjoyed this. Also subscribe if you feel like doing so, and in the comments below, suggest a figure. Maybe I have it. If I don't have it, I'll see if I can get my hands on it. If I do have it, I'll do a review for it, and I'll try my best. I'll talk to you guys soon. Again, hope you enjoyed the video.